I took the braids down, washed his hair. I blow dried his hair out super straight. And I was asking him if he wanted me to do the braids. He looked at his hair and he kind of like gave it a little like shake. By the way, we were watching Jay Leno. I asked him, is there anything that you want me to braid his hair back the way you had it? And he kind of looked. And I turned to grab I was gonna grab like a comb. When I turned back around, Prince was gone. I was like,
Sorry. It's discontinued. Welcome to Sorry, It's Discontinued. I'm Hilary, your host, and thank you so much for joining me. Okay, so I'm just blown away by this next guest. I am so excited to introduce you to someone who is truly magnetic, Rhonda. Rhonda and I met a few years ago when I worked for Tom Ford. She was working for TF at the time too, and would come to the counter and spoil our clients with her artistry skills and highlight Tom Ford. We just hit it off immediately. And now, as you get to know her today, you'll see why. Okay, so a little backstory on Rhonda, because it's amazing. Her story begins on a family farm in a small country town in Wisconsin, where she grew up surrounded by creativity, love, and grit. Her grandmother, a bold and fiery force who fought for women's rights in the Milwaukee correctional system. Incredible. She lit the spark for Rhonda's lifelong love of art and fashion. Now, her incredible mother, a trained dancer and studio owner, taught ballet, modern jazz, and contemporary dance, instilling movement, artistry, and confidence. So when you hear Rhonda speaking of her, you can just feel that love and admiration for her mom. Her father, a retired boxer turned fitness studio owner who later ran a popular Milwaukee nightclub in the 70s. As a little girl visiting that club, Rhonda got her first taste of the glamorous world of makeup, music, and fashion, and it left a lasting mark. Now, after attending the University of Wisconsin, go Badgers, as Rhonda says, she moved to Minneapolis to live with her mom, and that's where everything just changed for her. She began working in a high-end boutique, which introduced her to the world of professional makeup and high fashion. And that one job opened the door to her future. Now, soon after, she met a young Ted Gibson who was studying to become a trainer at the Aveda Institute at the time, which it's headquartered in Minneapolis. Did you know that? I didn't know that. So, fun fact, Ted Gibson, one of the most celebrated hairstylists in the industry, he's known for his work with celebrities like Angelina Jolie, Lupita Nyong'o, and Anne Hathaway. He's been a key voice in beauty education, co-founded the Ted Gibson Salon in New York, and became a household name through shows like What Not to Wear. It's incredible. So cool. Now, at the time Rhonda met him, he was just beginning his own rise, and their connection helped spark the path she's still walking today. Soon after, she found her way to the Aveda Institute because Ted, along with a few other inspiring mentors, introduced Rhonda to Horst Rechelbacher, Aveda's visionary founder. That connection would prove to be pivotal in her career. So at Aveda, Rhonda also worked under David Wagner, who pioneered the Daymaker philosophy of beauty through service. She absorbed every lesson, every philosophy, and every technique. She went on to collaborate with makeup industry trailblazers like Sonia Kashuk, known for her role as Cindy Crawford's personal makeup artist, and her chic Target line, and earlier work with Aveda. Rhonda also worked with Ruby Hammer, a British beauty icon and recipient of the MBE, member of the Order of the British Empire, awarded for her outstanding contributions to the cosmetic industry, who helped redefine inclusive, accessible cosmetics in the UK. These influences sharpened Rhonda's artistry, and it gave her the confidence to really push boundaries. Now, her next big leap, it came when she joined MAC Cosmetics during its most revolutionary years, when bold color, drag artistry, and unapologetic self-expression were front and center. RuPaul was the face of MAC's groundbreaking Viva Glam campaign in the mid-90s, and the brand's focus on diversity and inclusivity made Rhonda really feel empowered. Rhonda's growing reputation as a trusted and talented artist, it led her to more creative talent, a top agency in Minneapolis that connected her with major music, fashion, and entertainment clients, including Prince himself. Yeah, that Prince. My daughter asked me. She was like, "That Prince?" I was like, "Yeah, that Prince." Now, Prince, known for his genius, generosity, and deep support of local creatives, Prince left a lifelong impression on Rhonda, both professionally and personally. Now, eventually, Rhonda made her way to Houston, where she's continuing her creative journey and building something of her own, Rhonda Jackson Beauty. Whether she's on set for a new independent TV show or doing makeup for incredible women across Houston and beyond, she's known not only for her talent, but her warmth, honesty, and genuine care. And at the heart of it all, Rhonda is a devoted wife to her husband Cedric and a proud mom to a brilliant 14-year-old daughter, an emerging artist who carries the spirit of the incredible women who came before her. When Rhonda isn't creating beauty for others, she's practicing Bikram yoga, cooking beautiful meals, or simply just pouring love into her home. Her journey, it's rich. Her talent, it's undeniable. And her heart is unmistakable. And I'm really excited to get to share her story with you. And I'm so thankful that she felt comfortable enough to share it with me. So have a seat and let's get into it. I'm so excited you're
Hello.
here.
Oh my God, I am so excited and so happy to see your face. Oh my God, it's just
Ditto.
been way too long.
It has been way too long. It's been way too long. And thank you so much for coming on. Sorry, it's discontinued. You've been on my mind and watching everything that you're doing. You're such an inspiration. I just,
Oh,
I appreciate and admire you so much. So I have been wanting to just talk to you and just listen to your story and how you have really
oh,
immersed yourself in this world and building your own brand. And it's awesome. So
oh, thank you. Oh, thank you for that. Yeah, it's the
you're
story.
awesome. And well, first off, like, how was your day? 'Cause you're really busy. So thank you for taking
Uh,
time.
oh, yeah, of course. When I saw just this platform that you are doing, I was so excited for you. You are such a natural. You really are. I'm so just happy that you're doing this, and what a great way to present people, you
Yeah.
know? Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, my day was off. Today I actually had a day to myself to kind of like
A little decompress.
reorganize and decompress and plan out the rest of the month and all of that. So just a really kind of chill day today. I didn't have to go out and see any clients today, so that was, just a little break.
Yeah.
And yeah, and
Good for you.
actually, I hate to say, getting ready for back to school. Oh my God!
Back to school.
So
Wait. So
back to
my son starts, I think, like the second week of August.
yeah, yeah, same here,
Ugh,
same here. Like I think right around the 11th or 12th, but
yes.
it's coming and it's coming
It is
fast.
coming so fast. I know, but you're
Yeah.
at the stage with your daughter where you still have to go and do like the supplies and the list. Now that Max is a senior,
Yeah.
he's the baby. I don't really do the list anymore.
I definitely remember that. Yeah, Madison, this is going to be her freshman year in high school.
Oh my
So yeah,
gosh.
big deal, right?
That's a big
And
deal.
she's very excited, and just all the things.
Freshman in a new school, right? She's
A new
into high
school.
school. Same friends,
Mhm.
a lot of the same friends
It's
group.
not it's really interesting. A lot of her friends have actually like either have moved
Mm,
or just going to a different school.
okay.
So it's going to be interesting. She will know a few people, but it's going to be pretty brand new.
Okay. Like a fresh start. Oh,
Yeah,
your baby.
I told her not to worry. She's a little leader.
No.
She doesn't follow anyway. So
She's a little natural leader like her
that's
mama.
aw.
Well, so
She
uh,
gonna
you've been busy kind of getting things ready with school, and I know that you also are doing yoga.
just getting back into it.
That's
Um,
awesome.
I absolutely love yoga, and previous to having my kid, I was extremely into it, like one of those Bikram yoga girls. Yeah, I just love the connection to yourself
Mhm.
that you get from yoga. And so, life starts lifing
Yeah.
and like my life changed.
Yeah.
I met my husband, all of that,
Yeah.
relocation to a whole different state. And so with that, I wasn't going to yoga as much, but
Now
I don't have the serious schedule now. So now I'm able to like
you're getting back
get back
into
into
it.
it.
Good for you. That's a really
Yeah, it
great way
feels
to
good.
reset and do something for yourself. And like you said, you get grounded and reconnect with who you are. I love that so much. I wanted
Absolutely.
to start at the beginning. I love to ask people when they were younger, what was their first memory of falling in love with fashion, beauty, fragrance, or what was it that really caught your eye in this world? Or did you naturally just life kind of, as you said, you're just following a path into beauty and fashion and
Well, I will tell you, my first real memory had to be around probably 6 or 7, and it really was my grandmother. And I used to watch my grandmother was such an amazing woman. Like she could put together an outfit and you would swear it was designer. But she knew how to put
I love
patterns and colors and jewelry and accessories together, and she would look like $1,000,000 walking out the door. And I would just be truly like this
Mhm.
at her dresser, watching her put herself together. I even remember her like dyeing her stockings because like there was no color, there was no
It was
skin
very
tone.
limited with certain colors. So what
Yeah,
colors would
she's
she dye her stockings?
like, believe it or not, like clove in some boiling water on the stove and put her stockings in it and let the color get into the stockings and it would totally make them rich and dark brown. And I would just be amazed
Oh,
by that.
yeah.
And I even remember them like hanging in the bathroom on the little shower thing, drying. Like I remember all of that. So I was like fascinated, I think with just the kind of the transformation of beauty
Yeah.
from a young age and seeing her like for church or special events. I was always amazed. She had beautiful hats and she was sharp. She was
Well, and it
so
probably
sharp.
doing that for herself was the sense of empowerment to go out
Oh,
and go to church,
absolutely.
be out in the community, just loving on herself with her
Yeah, and
styling.
the way the women presented themselves to the world, they didn't hold anything back. Like
Mhm.
it was in their personality. And I really was highly influenced by that. And then also my mother was a dancer. So my mother taught ballet and she also taught modern jazz, modern dance.
Oh, wow.
And so I was, of course, really influenced by the grace of my mother. I wish I could flash pictures up. If you could just see the way my mother even just stood up straight It was beautiful. And so
Elegant, very poised,
very
very
absolutely.
strong.
Absolutely. I mean, like neck up, shoulders back, and everything, but natural, like it was not forced.
Mhm.
I remember even like looking through her ballet because she taught ballet. She had these catalogs. The catalogs were like the catalogs of the different like ballet unitards and the different ballet shoes and things like that. So I would be like for hours looking through all these catalogs. It's kind of amazing too because there's a photographer here in Houston. His name is Ashkan, and he shoots a lot of ballet dance and actually kind of like the modern day version of those catalogs that I used to look to
Oh.
when I was like 5, 6, 7 years old. So what's funny is the day I got called in to do some work for him, and it was for like this full play cast, and I had like, tears in my eyes because I was like, "Oh my God, what a
Amazing.
moment!"
Yeah.
Yeah, because at 6 and 7, I was looking at this, and now I'm actually doing the makeup, for these catalogs. Wow,
What an
it's
incredible moment, like this full circle
absolutely,
moment where it's the world, universe, God is like,
yeah.
wow, that's awesome.
But I'm really thankful. I've had a lot of moments like that, especially now at this age. I feel like I'm in my seasoned age, which is good. I really like it. So it's funny now I can really reflect on, man, okay, so that's why
Yeah.
this happened to me because it brought me to here.
Yeah.
And
All those steps.
I'm really thankful for that.
Where did you grow up?
Okay.
Where are you from? Because is it I'm remembering Minneapolis, but I don't know
Yeah.
if that's right.
Okay. So I was actually born in Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yeah, I was actually born in Wisconsin. I was raised in a really small country town. My grandparents owned a farm, a very large farm. And I really grew up like a country kid. Um, and I feel so blessed that I had that life.
Yeah.
I was always going into the city. My cousins and relatives were in the city. So the city being like Milwaukee,
Okay.
Wisconsin, right? So on the weekends, we would be in the city. And then my dad owned a very famous nightclub. Now my dad is will be a whole nother segment. But I'll just put it this way.
Okay.
My dad owned a nightclub that was very popular. And so I also had the influence of music at a young age because I would go to my dad's club, and at night I would literally be behind the bar with the bartender, and they would of course be keep an eye on me. But look, I was like 7 years old,
You were
and I would just be
7.
watching everything,
Oh my
the
god.
women, the hair, the so you got to think, like this is early 70s, not to give away my age, but
Oh my gosh,
it
the
was
fashion and the style, and this
the
was like a hot club
fashion,
in the city?
the full afros,
Oh.
the big hoops, the frosted eyeshadow. I mean, boogie nights in the
Ugh.
background, like, and it's so amazing. Like I had that whole influence. So at one point, okay, so my mom and dad, like they split.
Okay.
Okay, they went their own separate ways. It was all good because I still had the best life with my grandparents. My grandparents raised me, but
Oh,
my
and that's where you
dad.
lived on the farm.
That's right. You
Okay.
got
So
it.
you lived on the farm, and then you'd go and you'd see your dad, and you'd get to go to the club and spend time with your
Oh
mom.
yeah,
I mean, what a
yeah,
different world too, because she's teaching dancing and ballet and
yes,
this instructor, and
yes,
then he's like the whole other kind of side of it, like the
yeah,
freedom of
yeah.
expressing yourself. Wow.
Yeah, like they really, and they were actually true entrepreneurs. Like my dad actually, before the nightclub, before the building that he owned was a nightclub, it actually was called the Center, the the Center of Culture and Physical Fitness. So what it was like Bally's before there was a Bally's.
Oh
So
wow.
they would teach they would people would come and people would take their exercise classes, their ballet classes with my mom, modern jazz classes, uh, and then my dad actually was a boxer. So before he became an owner of, as far, being a nightclub owner, he actually was a boxer. So he was super fit, super athletic. And so him and my mom kind of built this business together, which eventually became the nightclub years later.
Uh-huh.
But they actually started it out as this place where people would come and like get their fitness on, and they had all the machines and
That's
weights.
incredible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow. So you were
It was
influenced at
really
such
fun.
an early age with, beauty and fashion, style
Yeah.
and creativity and art. I remember you talking about working at a boutique
Mm.
and a store, and you got a lot of inspiration working for the owner of the boutique. And it was just one of those moments in your life that you
Yeah,
really
so we
enjoyed
had
it.
a great. Yeah, well, to fast forward,
Okay.
I wound up going to college in Wisconsin. I went to University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, yeah, so go Badgers. And I moved to Minnesota.
Okay.
And at the time, actually, my mom was living there, and was my main reason. I was getting this time now to live with my mom, and I was in my very early 20s, and so now was my time to kind of flourish.
Yeah.
So one of the jobs was actually called Cameo, and Cameo was this amazing boutique that was inside of the Hilton Hotel,
Okay.
and it was very luxe, very luxury. And they were actually, this was early 2000, so they were kind of the first in Minneapolis to bring in these high-end boutique niche lines like Paul and Joe Cosmetics. Nobody even knew of Paul and Joe. They had all these amazing buyers, and the owners of this boutique really had great taste.
Clothing, kind of a
It
well-rounded
was
boutique, like a little
it
department store?
Well, it was more fragrance, jewelry,
Oh,
um, perfume, high-end perfumes. They were the first to have the art of shaving.
my
No one knew about the
gosh.
art of shaving. Yeah, they really forecasted, like, those ladies. They really knew their stuff, and they
Yeah.
really did their homework. So it was great. I would get these amazing customers that would come into the hotel, and of course they would be drawn to the boutique. I was doing makeup there, and people from all over the world would come into that boutique, and I would just have the best. I mean, my days would go by so fast because I never knew who I was going to meet. It really opened up my world.
Yeah.
It really did.
To be able to
And
connect with all these people coming in and playing with makeup and trying different things and different
yes,
fragrances while you're having
yes.
fun and then, practicing your artistry.
Yes,
Wow.
yes. And so what really happened is I was working for my first cosmetic job in Minneapolis was for Aveda.
Okay.
When I initially got to Minneapolis and started finding my way around, I actually had two friends who I had gone to school with who were working for Aveda. And see, Aveda is headquartered in Minneapolis. Um, I was just blown away by the Aveda Institute there. I've never seen anything like it. People going there to study hair, of course, and makeup, and the
Mhm.
aroma. Like when you would hit the door of Aveda Institute, you could smell the aromatherapy from all the natural ingredients. It was just amazing.
Wow.
So I was blessed to kind of bump into people who just kind of led me. So I wound up meeting a gentleman who is extremely well known today, who we really just clicked immediately. Now his name is Ted Gibson. He's a celebrity hairstylist. He now lives in LA. And at that time he was just a student. In fact, he was getting ready to study for his, basically to be a global trainer for Aveda.
Wow.
So through Ted and a couple of other people, I basically was able to meet Horst Reckelbacher. He's the founder of Aveda. And when I met Horst, Horst completely changed my world. He saw the talent in me right away. And basically, he sent me straight to New York. So at
Wow,
20,
Rhonda, that's incredible.
crazy man, crazy business. Like, like
Oh,
it was true, like something I just never remember standing in the middle of Manhattan at 3 or 24 years old going, oh my God,
like,
this is
am I
like
here right
really
now? Is
happening.
this really happening?
Yeah. Like, like all the years of like as a teen looking through Vogue magazine and looking through, and like New York and Times Square, it was all of that. So I'm so to this day thankful to him and also to David Wagner, who's at that time the owner of all the Aveda salons. I worked with them also, but that was like my first like that was like, oh, like this is
That's so
really like
incredible.
I'm really a makeup artist. Like I'm really
Yeah. So you're working at the
trying to
hotel and you're doing makeup and you meet them and you meet this group of people that see how amazing you are. You connect with them and you end up because you didn't go to the Aveda Institute.
not at all. not at not at
You're
all.
like,
Not
you're
at
going to
all.
New York, lady.
Yeah, like he saw my talent. I worked at an Aveda salon. They're all connected. So I did, makeup at an Aveda salon for a little while.
Okay.
And when I met Horst though, that's when everything changed.
Wow.
So yeah, so there I was in Soho training at the Aveda Institute with Sonia Kashuk. And Sonia Kashuk, she was amazing. She did not play. Like when we were in class and she was so incredibly detailed. I don't know if you know who Sonia Kashuk is. I think she still has her line in Target.
Okay.
But she at that time was
Yeah,
really
she
known
had
as
like
Cindy
brushes
Crawford's makeup
and different
artist.
things in Target. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, she was known at that time. She was Cindy Crawford's makeup artist. So she
Wow.
was very well known. She was working with Horst and working at Aveda, training makeup artists. And I was lucky to be in her class. And I still to this day, when I do mascara, I still hear her voice in my ear going, you missed a lash. Go back. Do it again.
Do it again. Oh man, she was serious. She's like, "You're
Yes.
doing it the right way or no way."
No way. Okay. Like she was serious about it. And I just so thankful for that training now. But
Yeah.
I went from there to traveling for Aveda and teaching at the Aveda. They were called estetiques at the time. So it's kind of like at the beginning when they started putting those self-standing Aveda boutiques into the malls and things like you see now.
Yeah,
So
kind of
kind of
like
at
the
the,
little kiosks and so on.
yes.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So I was the one kind of going around and training makeup artists. And then I was sent to London. And I
Are
went
you
to
serious? I
London.
didn't know that.
I'm dead serious. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I did serious.
okay, when we
And
finish with this episode, I want you to start thinking about your book
okay.
and just get it on paper. It doesn't matter how long it takes because
you know,
this is a book.
Hilary, I think the thing is, and what I have learned thus far at this age, is when things are meant for you, they're just meant for you. Um,
Yeah.
I didn't have to like compete for that position, nor was that even like in my mind.
Yeah.
But it's just like, like God has this path for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
And
where
when
you're
you
going.
align yourself, everything just falls right into place. And that's the only way I can describe this because it definitely wasn't like, how do I say? it wasn't like I planned it or I strategized it.
No, it wasn't like a
It was,
forced strategic, plan that you
mhm,
had. It was just these natural moments that happened where you
yeah,
meet certain people and your hard work, of course, and dedication
absolutely.
and all of that aligned and your faith, and your
Yeah.
future.
And just the pure love of art and beauty.
Yeah.
When you connect with other people who have that same passion
Yeah.
and you feel that,
That's
and to this day, like I'm just so excited. Like I'm so thankful that I have something that I'm always excited about.
okay, so
I went
you're
to
in London.
London,
You're like, "Okay,
trained
I was
with,
just excited about New York. Now I'm in London."
yeah, now I'm in London. And, and you got to think like my family is like very blue collar. Okay, I come from a very blue collar family. No one really like traveled outside of the United States. I think my my oldest uncle, he was in high school. I remember my grandmother saying, "Yeah, he did get to go to Spain, but for someone to go for work, that was
Yeah.
like unheard of." So my family's like, "What are you doing?" Like they still couldn't like put it together. Like you're doing makeup, you know, and
Yeah.
so they uh, they kind of thought I was like the girl in the mall, like spraying perfume. Like they weren't really getting it. And
Yeah.
so when I got to London, I got to train with a makeup artist named Ruby Hammer. And Ruby Hammer is still really known to this day in
Wow.
the UK. In fact, it's funny. I just found her on Facebook recently and sent her a little message.
Aw.
But yeah, I got to train with her and they were just opening the Aveda Institutes there in London.
How old
And
were you
it
at
was
this time?
it was mind blowing. Just cracked my world
So were you
open.
still in your early 20s? You were like 25, 26 at this point?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
And she really taught me how to use my kit. She really broke my mind open to use my kit in non-traditional ways. So like
Like how so?
how else can you use that lipstick? Like what else would you use that lipstick for? Because I was so methodically trained. Okay, this is eyeliner,
Yeah,
that goes on
everything
my
has a
eye.
place.
Everything has its place. And she
Right.
was like, well, no, what else can you do? And so, and it really like almost kind of like flustered me at first. I was like, I'm not going to put that lipstick as an eyeshadow. And then when I saw her do it,
Like,
it
okay,
then in me
maybe I could try it.
realized that there's this world kind of outside of, um, I don't want to say corporate makeup. I don't want to put it that way, but there was this kind of whole
Kind of in
other
the box.
side creatively.
Makeup in the
Mhm.
box, but you could
Yeah.
expand your creativity and use,
Yeah.
colors like your red lipstick is a blush, or
Yeah.
you could play around with your eyeshadow, put a little bit on your lips for frost, and she opened that world for you.
Opened that world and actually opened my world to the art of editorial, what a real editorial look is. And um, she challenged me. So it was like I think it was 3 weeks. We had an intensive training with her
Yeah.
from basic all the way to advanced to editorial. I was literally on the London streets doing I had done makeup on models and you take pictures. It was amazing. When I came back to the States, I was completely changed.
What an
Completely changed.
incredible experience. So how long were you there and working with her
So
and, in the
actually
world?
actually did a total of 3 trips to London and trained with Ruby over a period of 2 years. And she also had come to the States and did classes at the Soho Aveda Institute. So I was able to go there when she came into the States. So I was with Aveda for quite a while, and I finally was like, man, I wanted more. It was time.
Hmm.
So I went from Aveda, and actually, it was right when Aveda sold to Estee Lauder,
Okay.
and I knew things were getting ready to change. So I went from Aveda to MAC, and boy, oh boy,
That's fun.
uh, that was that was. I don't. I
You
look
have
at me.
no
I'm
words.
speechless. So I went from, this really clean girl beauty, Aveda, aromatherapy, like
Yeah.
everything's good for
Just kind of
skin.
classic, having fun with color.
Yeah. Yeah, really like beautiful, well blended to
Ugh.
like color. And you know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
the original MAC,
Yeah.
like the first Viva Glam was RuPaul. I'll never
Uh-huh.
forget the event. So there I was in Marshall Fields working for MAC, full-time artist, and the lines would be crazy because, MAC was the first to have all the skin tones. So I was in hog heaven because no other line, maybe besides like prescriptives,
Yeah.
had that color variation.
Yeah, I
But
worked for
yeah,
prescriptives, and I talked about that with Philip in one episode about how he and I recognized how it was really they were one of the few lines and companies that had so many colors, especially with the custom blending. But thinking
yeah,
about MAC and how much they had available for everybody, it was just so inclusive for the first time.
it was,
And with
it was
RuPaul
so,
being the
oh,
spokesmodel for Viva Glam and yes,
yeah.
wear those fun colors and drag makeup or just
Absolutely.
play around.
Drag. Yes.
Yeah, play with what
Yes.
you want. Be you, you know?
Be you. Exactly. Your own individuality. Absolutely. Mac took my level as a makeup artist to the highest level because at that time, the cosmetic companies really put money into their training. So
Mhm.
what happened was basically within a year, I became a trainer for Mac. And I was trainer over the Midwest, North Midwest, and then Canada. So because we were so close to Canada, so all of my trainings, which was four times a year, we would go to Toronto to train. And
Because
these
you were still in New
trainings
York at
were,
this time at Marshall Fields.
I was worked in Minneapolis.
Oh, you were in Minneapolis.
So I was still all this time living in Minneapolis, but I was
Okay.
flying to New York. Yeah, I flew to London. And
I
so now I
okay.
was going from Minneapolis to Canada to Toronto.
God, Minneapolis is like happening.
Oh yeah, it is. It
I mean,
it really,
that was the right place to be because everything
yeah.
cool was happening there.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Everybody that was on my high school locker, remember in your locker in high school how you put all your pictures?
Yes,
I don't know if you did that.
I
You're
did.
not in
I
there.
had some Madonna.
Okay.
I had
Oh yeah. Yes.
I had Madonna, I had,
Yes.
like,
Well,
Nine Inch Nails. I had, like it was such a weird mixture, of
yes.
people.
Yes. Yes. I had, of course, Michael Jackson and
Yes.
Sheila E. and
Yes, I had
Prince.
Janet.
Let me tell you something. I must have been manifesting because every person that was on my locker I met in Minneapolis. Prince,
Prince. Yes.
Maserati, like the whole Minneapolis sound, the family, that whole Morris Day and the Time.
Oh my gosh.
I met all of them in Minneapolis.
It's
And
incredible.
my family was like, oh my God. And my cousins, they couldn't believe it. But it's so casual in Minneapolis. Like you could just roll into a bar and like
And
Prince
they go,
might be
"Hey,
there that night.
hey, what's up? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just getting a beer," you know?
Yeah. So a lot of celebs would kind of come to Minneapolis to chill. I know Sting and his wife used to spend a lot of time in Minneapolis. And then also Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, they also were there before they moved Flight Time, which was the name of their recording company. They before they moved it to LA, I mean, they were from, I mean, they're out of Minneapolis. So
Wow.
like Janet would be in town. And everybody knew Janet was in town, but nobody would bother her. If they would see her out somewhere, nobody would bother Janet Jackson.
Yeah. Everyone's
Mhm.
really cool about it. They weren't
Yeah,
all up to their
yeah.
business. So then, of course, you wanna go there because you could just
Right.
be you, just going
And
around.
just be you.
Man. So, okay, so you're still in
Okay.
Minneapolis, you're doing the
Yep.
training, you're flying to Canada. I mean, at this point,
Yeah.
you've traveled a lot of places all around the world, and you're
Yes.
still, like, in your 20s.
I'm in my 20s. And then, so I was with MAC for about 4.5 years, working as a trainer. So pretty much half my month I was on the road.
Wow.
2 weeks out of the month I was on the road, and I was going through Cincinnati, Ohio.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm from Ohio.
Pitts. I know that. Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Um, Chicago
Jeez.
and
So did you fly to
Michigan.
most of these places? I mean, how you had to drive?
Oh, no, no, no. No, this was all auspices. No, I would
Paid.
fly out. This is really in the boom when Mac was going into large department stores. I mean, like Lazarus, uh,
I forgot
all
about
the
Lazarus.
all the big name,
Yeah,
yeah, department stores they were going into. And so I was going in and setting up that counter
you were
and training those
busy.
artists. I was busy.
Did you
And I got
did you work,
burnt
like,
out.
overtime? Yeah, that's what my question
Oh yeah.
was, like, how did you handle all of that? Because that's so much pressure, and it's
It
exhausting to travel so much, and you're
it is.
training, so you're
And you're
constantly
training.
having to study all of the new products and new things that are coming out, and the looks, the trend,
And the look.
and then you gotta go and set
All
up the counter and make sure everything looks good because they wanna take pictures,
that's
and
right.
everyone's looking at it, so
Oh yeah. Oh
that's
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, time management was key. I'm not gonna kid you though, it was tough. It was great though. I was young, no kids, none of that. So being up all hours of the
Yeah,
day and not very little sleep, I could definitely do
yeah.
that then. But I wouldn't trade any of that experience for the world. It also taught me how to deal with publicity and public media. We actually had a PR class
Oh,
and
wow.
teaching you how to talk because Mac was so great that the local news station might be there wanting to talk to you about Mac Cosmetics because it was so new to the cosmetic world.
So
So
you
you
had to
had to
be
know what to
ready.
say. Yes. But I'm thankful for all of that training. But yeah, I finally was burnt out and tired of sleeping in hotels and
Yeah.
wanted to be home. So I was like, you know what? I really want to work for an agency. So I started looking. There was an agency, a few of them in Minneapolis, and I started looking through the fashion magazine and finding out like who the photographers were. And I would look, you know how you would look in a magazine, you see the credit like inside the magazine.
Yeah,
So I started making my list and I started calling photographers,
photographers and really doing
asking
a
to
deep
test.
dive.
I started bugging them, wanting to test. Can I test with you for free? I'm starting my portfolio. Can we test? And finally, a few of them started giving me a break. And that's how I got my break into the industry side, where I started building a true portfolio. And I went into the agency and I did get picked up by an agency called More Creative Talent. They were kind of the Ford of Minnesota or
Yes.
Minneapolis.
Okay. That's
And yeah, I had a
incredible, the tenacity you had to go and let me look at see these names and reach out to them. I mean,
yeah,
you're like, "This is what I want, I'm going for it." That's such a great
yeah,
idea to think to
I
do
was
that too, you know?
yeah, I was so it's funny when you're young, you don't have any barriers. You're like, oh yeah, I can call them. Why not? Why would they not talk to me? You
Yeah.
don't have anything that
There's
is
no
telling
boundary,
you,
like, there's no wall, like, no I don't wanna
yeah,
say no fear, but it almost seems like there wasn't any fear, like, I'm just
yeah,
going
yeah,
for it,
yeah.
especially with
It
all
is.
the
It's like,
experience you had and being around a lot of people too, the
I just,
trainers and artists and so on. So that's
yeah,
incredible. So you started
yeah,
working for an agency for this
yeah.
group?
I started working for more creative talent. So
Okay.
I had an agent that would call me and then tell me, oh, basically for the week where to go. And there was this great hub of a commercial photographers in Minneapolis because we have 3M and General Mills and Target. They're all headquartered in Minneapolis, Pillsbury. So all of those meant corporate advertisement. So we had a job as makeup artists and hairstylists because all of those corporate businesses, of course, had advertising and marketing money. So that is how I then started working for Target and doing all of every step that happened previous to that point. Aveda, MAC truly led me and got me ready for working with photographers and art directors and the corporate side of marketing and really being able to put to vision what a client wants through makeup. And man, I'm so forever grateful for all of those lessons that I learned and being able to work with many different types of people, personalities. So yeah, so I basically worked as a freelance artist for More Creative Talent for about 13 years. It was absolutely
It
phenomenal.
sounds
Absolutely.
incredible. And it's really prepared you too for what you're doing right now and your own business. Well,
Yeah, absolutely.
13
Absolutely.
years. That's a long time. But it shows too that you must have really loved it because
I
you were in it for such a long time.
I did. Those people, I mean, like the people that I met, the photographers at every studio, and actually the team at More Creative Talent, they all became my family. It was easy
Mhm.
because
They were your work
they
family, chosen family?
they were my work family. They took care of me. They gave me advances when I needed it. Like they really did, and I'm so thankful for that because my mom was in Minneapolis for a little while, and then she moved to like a different state.
Okay.
So at like probably 21, at 21 or 22, I mean, I was in Minneapolis pretty much by
By
myself,
yourself. Yeah, you're on your
making
own.
on my own. Um, and I'll just tell you, it makes me laugh because I was truly a fan of Mary Tyler Moore. You know that Mary Tyler Moore,
Yes.
all of that.
Yeah,
That's
the
Minneapolis.
hat and the
Where did it do it?
I forget the song, but I know I can't even sing it anyway because I don't have the money to pay them if they royalty, but I love that
Yes,
show. I loved her apartment.
yes. Her apartment and then her friend Rhoda. Like I totally wanted to be Rhoda. The window. Remember, she was the window dresser, and so it's just so crazy because I actually lived 2 blocks from Lake of the Isles, which is where that shot that you see Mary Tyler Moore stopping and throwing her hat up.
No.
That was right on Lake of the Isles. So I'm telling you, I had all these divine connections through life. It's
Yeah.
just as I'm working for More Creative Talent, one day I get a call. My booker's like, "Hey, we're gonna send you out to Paisley Park," and I was like, "Oh, okay. Like, what's going on?" And she's like, "Well, Prince is shooting out there. And they need somebody to like do some makeup and I used to do a lot of body makeup for like dancers and stuff.
Okay.
Like he's got a couple of dancers and they want this cool body makeup, blah blah blah." I was like, "Okay, cool. Yeah, absolutely. I'll take the job."
Were you
So
freaking out, or at this point you're
I
so
was,
used to being around a lot of people? Because 'Cause I'd be so
well,
freaking out. But
I knew people that knew him and were in that circle. You couldn't help if you were in the kind of fashion scene and all of that. They all kind of merged. Of course, I
you're
knew who he
easy
was,
peasy.
but I knew that he would do these photo shoots and stuff, and
Okay.
so I wasn't like I didn't even really know if I would see him because they would tell me like sometimes you don't even see him
Yeah,
if you're
that's
doing
true.
makeup for. So I
Yeah.
get there, I get to Paisley Park, and they immediately take me to this room, and like basically, I mean, I was kind of pre-warned by my booker. She, like signed this
The
like
NDA.
non-compete. Yeah, it was like
Okay.
22 pages. It was crazy. I was like, oh my god, I'm signing my life away. And then they were like, okay, don't speak to him unless he speaks to you. He doesn't really like a lot of small talk. Just go and just do your job, you know. And I was like, okay, okay, cool, no
No,
problem.
Paisley Park is his house, right?
So yeah, Paisley Park. Now Prince he had an apartment inside of Paisley Park, but his home actually was further away. He had his own house. that was on Lake Minnetonka.
Okay.
That was a completely separate, thing. But yeah, he definitely could, chill there
That was like his
inside
studio
Paisley
and
Park.
everything kind of like his space
Studio.
and
Oh yeah. I
grounds.
mean, he had, what do you call that? Green,
Green screen?
green screen. Like it was huge. Area, of course, the area where a stage where he, perform at. I mean, Paisley Park was just amazing. All his awards and things are on the wall, on his albums. And so I went in, the hairstylist Ruby, who I was working with, she was already there, and they set us up in the room and everything. And so I started all these girls who brought in from Paris. They
Okay.
were burlesque dancers, beautiful girls from Paris. And so I was like, getting them ready, doing their makeup, and then she comes in. And so while I'm like doing one of the dancers' body makeup, and she likes loving it because I'm like mixing gold and all this stuff, making it look really cool. And he's like asking her how she's doing because they're friends. She's telling him how much she loves the makeup and everything. And so I'm literally like on my knees, okay, like
You're working.
this.
You're doing the
I'm
painting.
working.
You're
I'm doing. And then he said, "Hey," he said, "Are you from here?" And I looked up and I said, "Yeah, I live in Uptown," like that. And he was like, "Oh, okay." And that was our conversation. And so I was like, okay, I'm not getting in trouble because I want my check. Let me do my business
I'm
because he
just gonna
told me
do my
not to tell.
job.
But he did.
This is
I was like, he
cool.
did talk to me first. I didn't talk to him. He talked
Yep.
to me, right? And oh my God. So 2 weeks later, my booker calls me and she's like, "Hey, Rhonda, we got another booking for you. You're gonna go out to Paisley, but then they're gonna take you to Paisley and they're gonna take you out over to Prince's house." And I was like, "What?" It was like the music stopped,
You're right.
and I was like, "Prince's house?" She's like, "Yeah, he's doing his like after hours jam session at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Like usually after the clubs close, he does his jam session, and you never know who's gonna be there because Sting might be there. Eric Clapton might show up. You never know who might." So I was like, okay. And she's like, whatever, it's gonna be late. So take a nap. And I was like, okay. So I did not tell my friends. In fact, at the time, I only told my boyfriend,
Okay.
and I didn't want to tell my friends because I knew my friends would freak me out, and I wanted to stay
Yeah.
calm and collected because I knew if I told them that I would have been like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah.
So I started like telling myself I'm going to meet my cousin. I started getting myself in a
You
frame of mind. I
replayed
was going,
the narrative. Yeah.
going to meet
This is just a normal
family.
day. It's not a big deal.
mm,
I'm going to the grocery store.
Not a big deal. Just a normal client. So yeah, like literally at like 12:01, a van pulls up. I got all my stuff. I get in the van. We go from my place, which is in Uptown, to Chanhassen to Paisley Park. Then I get in another car with another driver, all my stuff, and we go from Paisley Park to Prince's
It's a
house.
little scary.
I
2
was like,
things popped into my mind. Is this safe? I mean, I know it's Prince.
okay.
He's amazing, but a random van, 12:01, middle of the night.
Yeah,
If I my
middle of the
kids,
night.
I'd be like, "What? No." But
Yep,
and then was the van
yep.
purple? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, oh no, the van wasn't purple, but the house was. In fact, he had these big purple rocks around his home. And so I'll never forget, we pull up and he's standing in the doorway and he has like his MPG like shirt on with the boots.
Oh my
And I'm like,
gosh.
okay, Ronnie, keep it together, girl. You got this. So I'm like, cool. Got my stuff, walk up to the door. He's like, oh, and he's thanking me he's like, oh, I'm sorry, it's so late. And I was like, oh, no, that's okay. It's cool.
Thanks,
And he's like,
Scotty.
okay, we're just gonna go downstairs. And all I can remember is walking in, and I'm trying to look around, but I'm trying not to be obvious when I'm looking around, so I'm trying to see what I can see. But we kind of walk out, and then we go down. So the
Down like on an escalator or stairs or like a ramp?
stairs,
Okay.
stairs going down. So as I'm looking around, I noticed that like the chairs and everything are like covered. So it looked like he was like getting ready. It's like if you were like getting ready to move, like cover your furniture.
Okay. Yeah.
And so,
So you're going
yeah,
down the stairs, you're going
going
into
down,
Prince's house.
I'm going into the basement. Now, let me tell you, the basement of his home, was completely a full salon. Like it was full,
Like
like
a
I mean,
hair makeup.
shampoo bowls, hair dryers, everything. So he at the time had braids in his hair, and I did hair and makeup. And so I took the braids down, washed his hair, and I laid all of my tools out. I let him see that everything was completely clean. And so on the blow, like to really get to it, I blow dried his hair out super straight. And I was asking him if he wanted me to do the braids. And so he looked at his hair and he kind of like gave it a little like shake. By the way, we were watching Jay Leno. I remember that Jay Leno on TV. And he asked me, and Prince asked me if I wanted popcorn. I should have said yes, but I said no. I was too nervous to eat. And so, I asked him, was there anything, did he want me to braid his hair back the way he had it? And
Yeah.
he kind of looked, and I turned to grab, like, I was gonna grab like a comb. When I turned back around, Prince was gone. I was like,
He loved his
wait,
hair so much, he didn't want you to do anything else, and then but he didn't say goodbye or anything, he was
he
just
didn't,
like
he didn't say
an angel
goodbye.
at night, just
He, and so his like assistant came, and I was like, "Oh, is everything okay?" Is and she was like, "Oh, yeah, yeah." She's like, if it wasn't, you would definitely know." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I just like started. She's like, "Oh yeah, you can pack your stuff up. The driver's waiting for you. Just take your time to pack your things up." And that was
what an experience.
to
That's
this day.
incredible.
Oh my God.
I
And
would bang
so,
my table if there wasn't a microphone right here because it's so cool.
oh my God, it was amazing. And so he wore his hair like super long, kind of like, like Andre 3000 and
Yeah, because that's what I
hanging out.
remember when he wore his hair like that for a little bit, or for a
Yes,
while, actually, like, he
yes.
had it, like, just natural, and it was
Because
so hot.
oh my God. I told my boyfriend, I said, because Prince is like a rock star. So he should be able to move his hair like a rock star. And that's exactly what he did.
So you're the
And
reason that he was wearing his hair like that.
I think
Rhonda,
so. I,
check.
I, okay, check. So I worked with Prince on two other occasions. Um,
No.
I worked on a video called 35 Millimeter Girl, which has not been released.
Oh,
And we're hoping that the estate will release it because they've been releasing a lot of stuff. And there's another video that I have no
hmm,
name for. He would do this a lot. He would like to create video or create music and stuff. And then he would decide if it was time for that to be released.
yeah.
And if he didn't feel like it was time, he would shelve it and it would go into the vault. So
Wow.
I am praying for the day for 30, if it's still even named that. I'll know it when I see it. I'll
Aw.
know it because I'll know those.
You did his makeup, or you did the makeup for the dancers, or you were a part of a little bit of everything?
So I did the makeup for his dancers for 35 Millimeter Girl. And then for the second video, I did his hair. Prince did mostly his own makeup, specifically the eyeliner. So I only did powder on him. His skin, by the way, was immaculate because he was a strict vegan. And side note, no meat whatsoever was ever allowed in Paisley Park. So when the crew was there, the guys that wanted hamburgers and hot dogs and stuff, all of that was set up outside of the studio in the back. He didn't allow it in the studio at all. That's how strict.
No meat products
And
whatsoever.
none, none. He did not play about that.
That's so fascinating,
Mhm.
Wow. Man, your
So
stories. I you're gonna have
Yes.
to come back, and if you want to, you know.
I would love to come back. It has been so great just
So
talking with
fun.
you. And
Now
yeah.
now before we
Okay.
go though, I
Okay.
wanna ask you,
All
I
right.
know you're doing a lot right now. You've started your business onto beauty. I'm gonna attach your Instagram
Okay.
socials to your episode so people can
Okay.
connect with you. Um,
Okay.
I'm curious, like, what is your two things, like a
Okay.
trend that's going on right now that you're really
Mhm.
in love with, or some products that you're really excited about? Then the second part is anything that was discontinued that you miss.
Trend right now. I would have to say I am fascinated with the glass skin, with
Okay.
Pat McGrath's glass skin. Um, my favorite products that I'm using right now, I'm using a lot of Danessa Myricks, especially her Universal Blur Balm because it works on all skins, it smooths out
Okay.
texture. I love anything that you can manipulate and really perfect the texture of the skin. You asked me about, oh, discontinue. Oh God,
I know it can
discontinue.
be a hard question
That's
because there's a
hard.
lot,
That's
but,
hard.
you
I
know,
would
but
have to say the original. Okay, I'm still I love so much Time Ford Beauty. I love working for Time Ford Beauty. The original palettes with the highlight and the contour.
oh,
The
yeah,
first ones that came out were still my favorites to this day. Were
that real
highlighting and
architecture of
contour.
the skin,
Oh
and
yeah. I
you
mean,
could
he was
really
the first to do it. Everybody else, Patrick Ta, all of you guys, like follow. Everybody follow behind. But those, and I would have to say the original MAC mascara, please. It
oh,
was jet coal black. It was the best, and I still have never found a mascara that was that jet black. So,
it's hard to
I love-
find. Yeah, I
mhm,
haven't really found anything either.
mhm.
Wow. Those are good ones.
Yes.
Good ones. Alright, I'm gonna look up the Pat McGrath glass skin.
The duo, the Tom Ford
Yeah, the Tom Ford
duo
duo.
highlight.
I know, yes, that
Yes.
and then you're also using, though, a product that you really like. Oh,
Oh yeah, Danessa
Danessa.
Myra, Universal Blur Balm. Oh
Okay,
God,
I'm
it
gonna have to look
is
that up.
felt like I have to have that. Like if I was on a desert island, that's probably
It's one of
the
your things?
product I'd have to have. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
so yeah, I mean, right now, I'm getting ready to work on, I've actually now worked on a trailer for a independent TV drama that's getting ready to launch. The trailer's getting ready to come out, and then now the pilot we're going to shoot in the fall. It has been phenomenal. The director for this, I actually reached out to her on Facebook, which is how I met her because I was watching her post and fascinated by her screenplay and the whole storyline for this TV drama. It's kind of like The Good Wife meets Empire, and it's super true drama. It's a global cast. There's
oh,
Nigerian leads. In this particular independent TV drama is going to be pushed not only in the US market, but also in the African market. So what's been great for me and really helping me grow even more as a professional makeup artist is I've been able to now get into Nigerian based cosmetics because in Nigeria, they have many lines of really rich colored amazing, beautiful cosmetics that we unfortunately don't get to see a lot of here in the States.
mm-mm.
But it has broadened my whole view as far as the makeup for the show itself. I'm doing a lot of um, boards for each character and what their look is going to be,
Oh my gosh, so you're
and how they're
really able
going.
to, like, immerse your artistic talent and your
Yeah,
creativity in each of these characters and play with their looks.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then I mean, it's like taking you from this whole your whole story of how you got started in
Blessing,
Wisconsin, and then now, like, what you're doing in Houston.
blessing,
Ah,
blessing.
and looking too
Yeah.
at the story, how you are doing these amazing things not to be too schmoopy, as my friend would say, but seeing you do this and your daughter is seeing you do all of this, like you saw your mom and your grandma. I mean, what? That's just,
And my
it's
daughter
all the
truly,
feels,
oh, thank you.
you know?
Oh, and yeah, I do feel the connection through all of this. Sometimes in life you think, why am I doing this? Because we all have our our things, right? There's just certain phases you go through
Absolutely.
where you're like, am I in the right thing? Should I be doing this? Questioning yourself.
Yeah.
And I just say to the young artists out there, keep pushing forward because you don't know what's around the corner. My life has been that. Every season of my life has been that. So I just say keep pushing forward because what is for you is definitely going to come. Just stay true. So
Oh, well, you are definitely an inspiration, and I appreciate you so much for doing this, especially at night and on, one of your days off. And I thank you for sharing your stories, and I want you to come back.
I would love to. I would love to. I would love to. Let's definitely, because I'd actually love to show some of the work for the TV drama, so
Oh
you
my
can see some of
gosh.
the behind the scenes stuff. It's
Oh,
just
that
so
would be
cool.
incredible. Yeah, maybe
All
we can do
right.
that in a few months or
Yeah, yeah.
I'll be here. So,
Okay.
but
Okay. I
thank you
love
for
you
being.
so much, Hillary.
Oh,
You're
I love you
awesome.
so much. Thank you for being on Sorry It's Discontinued, Rhonda.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sitting with me today and listening to this episode. I am so excited you got to learn more about Rhonda. Her stories are just incredible and just really inspiring. I've truly loved doing these interviews. Every guest has shared their story with such heart. I'm so grateful to each one of them for letting me bring their journey to you and being completely open. But after 10 amazing conversations, it's time for something new. There's so many stories, the kind we behind the counter don't always get to share. Maybe we're too tired. Maybe we're burnt out. Maybe we don't want to get in trouble, or maybe life just moves on too fast. But these moments, they stick with us. The funny ones, the heartbreaking ones, the scary ones, frustrating, exhausting, even the healing ones. And I've been holding on to them for years. I'm sure if you've worked behind a counter or even shopped in front of it, you have some too. So starting next Thursday, I'm launching a brand new series. Sorry, It's Discontinued, Behind the Counter. So if you've ever worked the floor or just want to know what really happens before and after the doors open, I hope you'll have a seat with me. So SID Behind the Counter begins August 14th. And I'll be there, lipstick on, stories ready. Now, if you're loving the show, be sure to follow or leave a review. Share it with someone who adores beauty, fragrance, and fashion as much as you do. And if you've got a story to tell, I'd love to hear it. Just head to sorryitsdiscontinued.com and send me a message. Now, this podcast is independently produced and not affiliated with any brands or companies mentioned. All stories and opinions shared are personal and meant to reflect the real-life experiences of those who've worked in this industry. Now, thank you for being here. And remember, as cheesy as it is, a smile can brighten someone's day, truly, whether you're behind the counter or in front of it. Now, see you next time. Bye. Sorry. It's Discontinued.